Welcome to Geller Woodworking. I am Aaron Geller, and I want to talk to you today about how we can use a track saw like this in combination with a rail guide and an angle stop that has multiple angles in order to basically use it as a miter saw. Now the cool thing is, if you have one of these already, this piece right here is $175, so it's not inexpensive, but it's also not too expensive either. And when I use it in conjunction with this, a couple things is, if you look right here, this creates basically a 90-degree angle. So all I have to do is lay it on the track. I can then make a mark and then cut it and it'll be accurate. Now what I love about using this rail square is I can set different angles. So if I want to set it to say 15 degrees, there is an indent already there. I can set that. There's goes up to 60, so you have an indent at 0, 15, 22.5, 30, 45, and 60. So the only thing you have to keep in mind is if you want to go with some of these angles, you do want to have this slid down a little bit. But what I can do is this. We can take this. Now, let's just strike a line. It doesn't really matter where, but let's just say we want to have it start right about here. So we can put a line right here, and then we can line it up very easily like this. And then once it's in place, you can then run the track saw over it. Now I'm not going to do it this very second, but I'll show you guys in a moment here, an actual demonstration. And then you can run it through. So pretty easy. What I like about this particular guide is, the tracks, you can already put a clamp in this channel underneath here. So that's really easy. But in addition to being able to put a clamp right here, you can actually put a clamp either here or here. So for example, let's say that we can't do it here for some reason or another, then I can connect it, this will go right over here. Let me see if I show you guys better. We can put it right here and it will hold. Now, one nice thing about cutting with this configuration is because we have part of the guide actually resting on the material, it's less likely to tip over because, as you can see here, it doesn't have anything to flip over. So that's the really nice thing about this setup is it's less likely to tilt. The track saw obviously works different than a regular saw because you first plunge it and then you run it, right? Whereas a regular circular saw, it's always in that ready position. So let me show you actually cutting this and how it looks in practical operation. So as you saw, that was not hard at all to make that angled cut. What I would suggest is, if you have material that's the same thickness, you can definitely use it with it. We put one on each end, and that way you have more support on each side. But let's say this is actually hanging off to the table, and then you can have this clamped down to the table and then have this clamped more firmly there. But again, the nice thing is you can take something as simple as this angle guide and be able to increase the functionality of your track saw. So, I will say this will not replace my miter saw, of course. My miter saw can cut 3.5 inches. This can cut I think just over 2. But when I'm outdoors making a project and I need to cut at an angle and I don't have my miter saw available, or it's too far from the home or wherever there's power, this works really, really well. So hopefully this shows you a little more utility of the Festool Angle Guide. Like I said, at $175 or so. Prices may change when you go look online, depending on when you're seeing this. I find it actually gives me a lot more capability than just a regular rail square. So if this was helpful, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.